Hey everyone, it's Aaron here from Pi Supply, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the JustBoom Digi Cape. The JustBoom Digi Cape is a high quality digital audio output for BeagleBone. It will work with the BeagleBone Black, the BeagleBone Black Wireless and a number of other BeagleBone boards. As long as it's got the 46-pin header on each side, it should work with the JustBoom Digi Cape. So let's take a look. So I'll just grab out the contents of the box here. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah. Pop that over there. So you can see we've got quite a few bits and bobs in here. To start with, we've got the JustBoom stickers. Now we provide those. Everyone loves stickers, so stick them wherever you feel like, and if you've stuck them anywhere cool, on the back of your car or whatever, just post those pictures on Twitter, so we've got that. We've got the JustBoom info card here. And then on the back you can see it's got some getting started information. So the web domain is justboom.co/start. And you can go on there, there's a bunch of tutorials, guides, technical information, stuff like that that you can take a look at for all of the JustBoom range, including the JustBoom Digi Cape. So just take a look there. We'll put the links in the description for the video, so just check it out. And if you have got any questions about any of that stuff, just send us an email through the site and we'll be more than happy to help. So you can see here we've got two other bits. We've got the mounting hardware for the board. This just allows you to secure it to the BeagleBone and just make sure that it's nice and secure, it's not going to come off, stuff like that. And then we've got the actual board itself. This is just in a little anti-static bag just to stop it from getting any damage from static electricity when it's in transit. Just be careful when you're popping it out of there because it sometimes can get stuck on the pins underneath, so just kind of gently take it out. Pop that to one side, and that's the JustBoom Digi Cape. So you can see on there quite a lot of components on the top there, and then on the bottom there we've got just the 46-pin header there. So we'll take a look at this quickly. I'll just discuss what some of the components are on there and give you an idea of what they all do. So as I mentioned, we've got the 46-pin header. That just connects into the BeagleBone header as well. Then you can see a little black chip here. That's the EEPROM, which is basically a little memory chip. It has some information on there regarding the board itself and also tells the BeagleBone what drivers it needs to load and stuff like that. So it's kind of like an identification chip. It's got a serial number on there as well, and it just allows the board to identify itself to the BeagleBone and get loaded. So it's plug and play, super easy. So that's the EEPROM. You've got some little passive components around there that just support the EEPROM, and that's that. And then here you've got another small black chip there. Now that is basically the digital audio output chip. So what that does is it takes the I2S audio signal from the BeagleBone, converts it into a coaxial and an optical output. So as I say, the main other components you can see on there are the coaxial output. So that's a single coaxial cable digital output, and then you've got the optical output as well, which is this little square connector here. And lastly, other than the connectors, the next biggest component you can see is this black square component here. This is an isolator, so it's a galvanic isolator. So basically it just isolates the coaxial output and stops any interference and stops you from having issues between two devices. So where you're plugging it into another coaxial device on the other side, it just isolates the two from each other, so you don't get any ground interference, you don't get any nasty issues like that. So just make sure that that high quality audio is really good. it's the same as we've got on the other Digi boards that we've got in the range, so the Digi Hat and the Digi Zero. We make sure to include those as well. Just means that you're going to get the best quality audio, basically. So, so that's that. So yeah, that's really the board. It's quite a simple board. The one other thing I want to show you is this little header here, 3-pin header, and you should be able to see on there if it shows up on the camera. There's a little thing on the PCB there that on the silk screen that says IR. So that's the infrared receiver. So included in the package, you'll get a little infrared receiver like that. So you'll be able to see when I put it side on there that it's got a bit of a sort of semi-spherical bit sticking out from it. And you can see also on the PCB silk screen that's indicated there, just shows you which way round you want to face the infrared when you put it on. So we provide this as an optional addition because some people don't want it. Some people prefer to have access to the GPIO pins from the BeagleBone, so they don't actually want to put it in there. But if you did want to solder it on, you just stick the 3 pins into the holes there, like that. And as you can see, it just goes in the holes there with the semi-spherical, oops, pop that out. I'll pop that in again. But yeah, so it just goes in there with the semi-spherical bit poking out like that towards the edge of the board. You then pop that on its face like that, and then you could solder that in on the 3 pins there. We will have another tutorial showing you how to solder that. It's not complicated. Even if you're an absolute beginner with soldering, you should be able to do it quite easily. So, you know, in under 15 minutes, anyone should be able to solder that in place. So it's quite easy to do. And as I said, we'll have another tutorial on that. So I'll pop that to one side for now. Right, so now we need to get the BeagleBone. We're using the BeagleBone Black Wireless here. So it doesn't have an Ethernet port. It's kind of more slimline, but at its core, it's the same board. It's just wireless instead of having the Ethernet. So I'll pop that box aside. And there it is. So that's the BeagleBone Black Wireless. It's exactly the same as the BeagleBone Black, as I said, except instead of the Ethernet port here, it's got the Wi-Fi there, and you can see the 2 little antennas for it as well. If you don't know the BeagleBone, if you're coming from Raspberry Pi world or Arduino, BeagleBone is just a single board computer, similar to the Raspberry Pi, except the only difference being that it's kind of made by a charitable arm of Texas Instruments, and it's fully open source as well. So if you ever want to take this board and turn it into like a mass-produced device, you can actually get the design files online and everything like that, and all of the chips on board are widely available, just like off the shelf. So you could actually produce this in a different form factor, take components off, things like that. So it's a bit nicer than the Raspberry Pi in that way. It's not as popular as the Raspberry Pi, so there's less documentation and stuff, but it is a really good board nonetheless. So really nice board, and definitely worth considering for your application, especially if you're looking to kind of take it into bulk manufacture, and you know, you might be able to save some costs that way by manufacturing it yourself and stuff like that. So, so yeah, so let's get started. Really, in this video, it was mainly to just show you the board, discuss the board, and just show you how to get it assembled to the BeagleBone. So we've got the mounting hardware, got the BeagleBone, got the Digi cape, and got a little screwdriver ready to go. So the normal way, so in the bag, you've got 2 mounting posts, and then you've got 4 little screws. Now the BeagleBone uses M3 screws, so if you need some slightly different sizes, look for M3 mounting posts and screws. Metal or nylon's fine. We're using nylon here. It's just your personal preference, really. So whichever suits, you can use metal, no problem. So what I'd normally do is put the mounting hardware onto the BeagleBone first. Now, you probably saw on our board, we've only got the 1 header. So that goes onto the side with the DC jack. So you only need the mounting hardware on the other side because you've already got that mechanical support on that side from the header itself. So what I would do is grab one of the screws on the side opposite the DC jack, and the USB port, just pop that underneath the board like that. And then grab one of the mounting posts and then just kind of manually screw that on. It can sometimes be a bit hard with the nylon ones to actually tell when they've actually caught on the threads, but you should feel it, and then just tighten it up by hand like that. It doesn't need to be super tight because we'll tighten it up later with the screwdriver. So grab another one on the other side. Ooh, pop that through the hole. Grab the mounting post and then just screw that into place again by hand. Nice and simple. Yeah, so that's done on the beagle board now. So then what you want to do, you've got the 46-pin header on the Digi cape, and you've got the 46-pin header on the beagle board. So what you want to do is just line those up nicely, and then just grab it in your hands like that on each side, and just give it a good push, and you'll feel the pins go into the holes there. Nice and secure, and then on the other side you can see it's meeting up nicely with the mounting posts. So then what we want to do is just grab the other screws, pop them just into the top of the holes there, grab your screwdriver and just screw those up so that they're nice and secure. They don't need to be super tight, they're nylon, so if you do them up too tight it'll just damage them anyway, so just get them hand tight like that, twist the board onto the bottom, tighten those ones we did by hand, and that's it. So that's nice and secure now. And once that's done, you're pretty much ready to go. So as I said, in this tutorial, we're really just doing an unboxing and a first look, so we're not going to go into a huge amount of detail about how the BeagleBone works, the BeagleBone Black, but all you need to do is get the USB cable from the box, and program the software that you're going to run onto the onboard storage, or just pop an SD card with that software into the SD card holder, and then you're ready to go. Just need to plug in the power, which with the BeagleBone Black wireless, you can do a 5-volt input over the DC jack, or you can do a 5-volt input over this micro USB connector. Either way works. If you've got Raspberry Pis that you've had before, things like that, or mobile phones that use micro USB, that's probably your easiest bet. But it has got that option for the DC jack as well. Again, 5-volt DC jacks are quite common, so you might have that as well. So feel free to, if you've already got one of the power supplies, it just saves you that little bit of extra cash for buying a new one. So yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And as I said, if you need any more technical information as to the chips and everything like that, take a look at our website, justboom.co/start. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.